Hello, good day. This is Mathema. So today we are going to talk about this grade 10 math worksheet. Topic is about illustrating events, union and intersection of events, and of course the probability of a union of two events. So there are 15 items. For the instruction, just read along. Let's have the concept review. So when we talk about event, an event is just a subset of a sample space. So each outcome of an experiment is part of an event. So for example, if you're going to toss a coin, you have your sample space. It's either head or a tail. An event there will be, again, it's part of a sample space that will be either head or a tail. Number two, whenever you see this sign, that's looks like a letter U, that means union. So when you talk about union, you are going to add everything. So for example, the union of A and B, all outcomes that belong to A or B or both. So this is our formula. To get the probability of the union of A and B, that is just equal to the sum of the probability of A and B minus the probability of the intersection of A and B. So you are going to understand this one better later when we have our example. Number three, intersection of events. So again, this is our symbol for intersection. All outcomes that belong to both A and B. So again, remember, when we talk about union, we are using the word or. Intersection, we are using the word and. Mutually exclusive events. These are events that cannot happen at the same time. So there will be no intersection. For example, you cannot be a male and a female at the same time. That's impossible. Or you cannot be grade 10 at the same time a college student. You cannot do that. Complementary events. The event not A written as A prime. So for example, let's say probability of being a male. We also have here the probability of not male, or meaning to say probability of being a female. So to get the probability of not A, all we have to do is simply subtract 1 minus the probability of A. So let's have some examples. Illustrating events, remembering and understanding. Define a sample space and give an example using a coin tossed twice. So again, when we talk about sample space, as I said earlier, sample space is just a set of all possible outcomes. So you're gonna say set of all possible outcomes. So what's happening? Outcomes. So for instance, we have our, we toss a coin twice. So what will be our sample space there? So our sample space, let me just say S, that will be what? It could be, my bracket is very pangit. So it could be, we can get head. The first coin is head, and the second coin will be head as well. Or we could have the first is head, the second is a tail. Or we could have the first one is a tail, the second is a head. Or we could have both tails. So again, this will be our sample space. There are 4 elements. Let's do number 2. Write the sample space for rolling a single die. So ano yung sample space natin when we roll a die? So again, sample space, that would give us, ang die natin has 6 faces, right? And then it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So meaning to say, ang sample space natin will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hindi pwedeng 7 kasi nga yung die natin is just 6 face na yung ating die. Number 3, let A getting an even number, B getting a number less than 4 when rolling a die. So list the outcomes of A, B, A intersection B and A union B. So for example, ano yung ating A? Ang sabi dito, A is getting an even number when we are rolling a die. So ano ba yung mga even number when we roll a die? Possible will be 2, 4, and of course 6. Ito yung ating sample space. What about yung ating B? B is getting a number less than 4. So a number less than 4, it could be 1, 2, and of course 3. Now, let's have, we are done with that. We are done with this. A intersection B. So when you say A intersection B, ano yung common sa kanila? Ano yung common? Look at this one. Meron tayong 2, right? So they intersect at actually, let me just do 2. And then when we say A union B, meaning to say we are just going to combine everything. We will not repeat. For example, I have 2 here, I have 2 here. We will not write 2 2's. We only gonna get write 1. So meaning to say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. That will be our union. So I hope that makes sense. Let's do number 4. Draw a Venn diagram representing two overlapping events A and B. Shade the region for A intersection union B and B A intersection B. So if I have here a Venn diagram, for example, this is my Venn diagram. Let me just use another color, this one. When we say A union B, what are we going to shade? We are going to shade the entire thing. It's union. So meaning to say we are considering everything. So union. So that's that everything. Everything will be shaded. That's the union of two events. So when we talk about intersection, so if I have here a circle, that's my Venn diagram, and also this one. When I say intersection, I am only gonna shade the overlapping area. So this is my intersection. These are the area where the two circles overlap. That's intersection. Let's do number 5. If event A, the sample space are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and event B, 2, 3, 6, 9, we are going to list down A union B. So again, when we say A union B, we're just going to merge everything. But then again, we will not write the duplicates. I mean, we are not going to write twice the duplicates. So here, this is just equal to, I have 1 here, so that's 1. I have 2. I have 3, I have 3. I'm only gonna write 1, 3. And then I have 5. I got 6, 5, 6. And then I got 7. And I get 9. So that is 9. So meaning to say this will be the union of my event A and B. So the sample space will be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. What about union? So, I mean intersection. So intersection, we're just going to write the common numbers. Ano yung common sa kanilang dalawa? We got 3, and then of course we got 9. So this will be my answer. So that's A intersection B. The sample space is 3 and 9. I hope that is clear so far. Let's do number 6. In a class, 20 students like math, that's event A. 15 like science, that's event B. And 18 like both. Find the number who like math or science. So again, to answer this question, what we can do is we can actually draw a Venn diagram to visualize. we are actually asked to get the find the number who like math or science. Ano yung math or science? Or means to say union, right? So this is A union B. And going back here, our union formula is just asan yan? It's here, right? It's here. So we're just gonna add everything, probability of A, probability of B, and then subtract the intersection. So let's go back here. What is my probability of A? So probability of A, or my A is what? My A is, let me see, A is 20. And then my B is, what is my B? 15. And then A intersection B, like both, that is 8. So what I'm going to do here is simply add 20 plus 15 minus 8. So this gives me 35 minus 8, or this is 27. So there are 27 who like math or science. Now, if you want to have your Venn diagram, you can also do that. So you're gonna say, this is your event A, and this will be your event B. B. Now, it says in the problem, 8 like both. So this is your 8, right there. They like both math and science. And it says in the problem, 80 students like math. So meaning to say, if this is your math, the violet circle, you only gonna write, hindi 20 is sulat mo. You're gonna write 12 here. Kasi nga, 12 plus 8 is 20. Sa kabila naman, sa blue one, you're not gonna write 15. You're gonna write 7. Okay? So if you're going to add everything, 12 plus 8, 20 plus 7, that is 27 students still. Alright? That will be your answer. Let's do number 7. Given probability of A equals 0.4, probability of B is 0.3, and the probability of the intersection of A and B is 0.1, find the probability of the union of A and B. So again, using this formula, asa na ba yan? Again, we know that probability of A union B is just probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. So using this one, we know that this is 0.4 plus 0.3 minus 0.1. So this is probability of A union B. This gives you what? 0.4 plus 0.3, 0.7 minus 0.1. That is just 0.6. So your answer must be 0.6. Number 8. If the probability of A equals 0.6, probability of B is 0.2, and A and B are mutually exclusive, find A union B. So again, when you say mutually exclusive, they don't share anything. So pag mutually exclusive again, probability of A intersection B is 0. So how are you going to do that? Simply, you're just gonna add, right? The same thing. Do this one, but this is 0. So this is 0.6 plus 0.2. So meaning to say that is probability of A union B. This is just 0.08. Alright? So your task will be to answer number 9. So in a survey, 45% like apples, 35% like bananas, and 20% like both. Find the probability that a student likes apples or bananas. So again, it's or, so it's union. Good luck.